Once again, hearty congratulations from the entire team of IASbaba, Madhavi and Bharat. With respect to Bharat, I know him since last 3 years. So there's a good rapport because he's there in every podcast, every topper session. So I know him very well. Along with, why did I say Bhanu? Then is Bhanu is also a close student of us, and he's a close student, a friend of Bharat. So I always get confused. Both the name starts with the letter B, and both are into IPS. In my 12 years of experience of mentoring students, I've met a lot of students, thousands or even lakhs, I can say, of students in my journey. In that, in one end, we find there are students who are finding it difficult to clear even prelim stage. Some students are finding it difficult to clear mains or interview. But with Bharat, if you look at him, he has cracked this exam twice. So last year he's got a rank, he's got into IPS already. And again, he gave the exam and he has cracked the exam again with the rank 567. And so we let us, so with him, we'll understand what is that one thing that has helped him to strike every time. So obviously the mentality, the toughness would be different, right? So we'll try to understand that from Bharat. And with Dr. Madhavi, she has given 4 attempts and she has cleared prelims 3 times. All the 3 times she has, the rest of the 3 times she has written, she has cleared. And one interview, and in that very interview, she's got All India rank 446. She might even get IAS, is what we feel. But still, you will get the service allocation will happen in another 25 days. So we'll get an idea whether she'll be giving the attempt again or not. So hearty congratulations, Dr. Madhavi and Bharat again. Okay. So the first question will go to Bharat. It is again with the same thing, whatever history I gave you. So I think before that, you should introduce yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. So we met yesterday evening on an informal occasion, and we have spoken about the examination. So a brief introduction for the people who haven't attended. Myself, Bharat Yaram. In 2023, I had given the attempt and had secured all-day rank of 667, and this year I've got rank of 567. I don't know what is the link between the last 2 digits, that is 67. And I'm expecting IAS probably, if the luck permits. And this was my 6th attempt. In 5th attempt, I got IPS, and 6th attempt, I have got this rank. And brief introduction, as Sir has said, I was a friend of Dr. Bhanu Prakash. He was guide, friend, philosopher, as we say, CAG for the finance in the committee, as we see in the polity. He was the guide and philosopher friend, as people say, because he was not just friend. We used to talk about the prelims whenever we meet, and he helped me a lot in the mains part as well. And Sir used to guide me. This is not the way to write. And he used to say in the informal way and in the strict manner as well. So that was the most value addition thing that I had saw in the past 2-3 years. So that has helped me in the clearing the exam. And we shall talk more about the preparation part as the question goes on. And this is my introduction. And I'll hand over the mic to Madhavi.
Good afternoon, everyone. Actually, this is my first public talk or stage talk. Introduction about me. Myself, Dr. Madhavi R. I completed my graduation in MBBS from ESIC Medical College, Rajajinagar in 2021. Then I started my full-time preparation. So in 2021, I gave my first attempt. I couldn't clear prelims. Then I have cleared prelims continuously for 3 times. So this was my 3rd mains and first interview. I had taken medical science as my optional. And after 2 years of full-time preparation, I started working as a medical officer in an NGO. So I gave this attempt while working. I think that has also has helped me in my interview preparation probably, and also in my personality development overall, I feel. So I had taken guidance for interview from Mohan Sir and in DAF analysis. I think that has helped me for my interview preparation. I think, we'll talk more about your questions as this discussion goes on. Thank you.
So there might be a few students who are working as well. So we'll understand how a working professional can prepare from Madhavi. And also the other question that I want to ask her is this time, I don't know how many of you analyze the results. If you look at it, I think majority, I think more than 60% of the students who clear UPSC exam are engineers. That is the statistics, actual statistics. But of late, that statistics is like slightly getting diluted because we find more of doctors getting selected. And this year, there are 30 students from Karnataka who have been selected. And in 30 students, 8 to 10 students are doctors. So that is 30% of the students who are selected are doctors. So we'll see why is that, why being a doctor is so, I mean, it is helping a student to clear the exam, UPSC exam. And also, as a working professional, how do you manage time and prepare?
So I think coming from a medical background, I think it is a very a strong decision I feel to take UPSC, because we would have already studied for 5.5 years, and itself MBBS itself is a long process. Taking UPSC decision itself is a big risk, I feel. But yeah, I think the qualities which might help in the UPSC preparation, or we would have already been in that long journey. So I think that patience and studying for long hours probably during exams, that would have helped. But basically, I don't feel graduation plays a important role for clearing UPSC, because I think there might be a change in trends, but people from any background can clear this exam. It is possible for anybody. Only thing, understanding the essence of this exam, and putting their hard work, and uh, maintaining that consistency matters a lot. And yeah, second question, definitely I have seen a difference while I was preparing as a full-time aspirant here, and preparing while working. While working, I think we already know that there is a less time for us to prepare, so we'll schedule that timings for preparation. So my work was usually from 9 to 5. So I try to maintain a balance. Okay, from 9 to 5, I'll be completely present at work, and after coming that, I used to keep my phone silent and switch off. So then I used to completely keep my mind fully occupied with a preparation. Maybe yeah, I could have got maybe 4 to 5 hours in a day if I was very in a very disciplined manner. Otherwise, there are days that I couldn't even study. So I think maintaining that balance between work and preparation. Also, I think when being a doctor working at the ground level, I had experience that first-hand experience working at the rural level. I am working as a medical officer in 32 villages of Anekal Taluk in an NGO. So that already it aligned with the UPSC principles, maybe the service motto, and people centric everything. I think that motivation was, I think it got enhanced with my work, probably because of my work thing. And along with that, I think it's not a impossible thing, but it will be difficult. Somebody will find difficulty preparing with work, but having a clear mindset, and having a schedule prepared with a constant motivation, I think anybody can do that.
So we got an idea, a fair idea on how to balance work with the studies. Now, I have a question for Bharat. So, what is that one thing that has helped you tick off? Like, because I've seen even with Banu, every time you give an exam, you're getting a rank. And during my preparation days, there was one friend of mine. We used to always get ranked between 400 to 600. All attempts, 4 attempts, 5 attempts, he used to get ranked in same service. So there should be some commonality. Something is there in him that every time he writes, he clears prelims, mains, interview, gets a rank, and that is very difficult actually. So what is that one thing that actually has helped you to crack the exam last year, this year?
I think the repeated success, especially I would like to focus more on prelims as well as mains, because for prelims, it is always static, because we cannot count on current affairs. And even if we read the magazines that are available in the market, we cannot guarantee that question will be coming. What we are very much strong, the people who give the interviews multiple times, the people who write mains very often, is we have the strong hold over the basic books. especially the NCRTs, the Lakshmikant, what all other people study. And if you have strong hold over the basic subjects, and if you're able to make the questions right with no wrongs in the simple questions, we'll be able to score near to cutoff, and going above the cutoff will be depending upon the skills that we have developed over the period of time. So since we have given the interviews, the people who have given the interviews, they have solved multiple mocks over the period of time, and they have skills as well as knowledge, and there'll be some questions which will not be solved, which cannot be solved even the person if he has given complete 1 year over the prelims preparation. So that doesn't matter. So knowledge and skills, they'll be helpful for any individual to crack the examination. And most importantly, neither Dr. Bhanu Prakash or myself have indulged in more than 1 or 2 textbooks. I had kept one textbook and made notes in 2020, and I'm following the same textbook even till this 2025 attempt. So the success is majorly based on the repeated revisions, taking multiple tests, and especially with respect to mains, every time it is a learning opportunity. I wrote 4 mains, and then every opportunity in first mains, I got a very less score in essay. I got 79, and I worked upon that, and I improved my score to 126. So based on that, I repeatedly learned what are the mistakes that I have committed in the last attempt, and also with the every new attempt, we make new friends. And with new friends, we will be getting to know what are the things that is running in the market, because it's not just doing what others are doing, it is doing the things which the toppers are doing, which no one is doing, that gives the extra edge to get the marks. So probably mingling with Dr. Bhanu Prakash, Dr. Krishna Donwade, and with the friends who are writing mains and who are thinking innovatively while writing the examination. So this has been helpful for regaining the marks, adding 1 or 2 marks extra in the one marker for every 10 marks. So that might have helped to get the continuous ranks. Probably this is the thing.
So, as he rightly put, one is minimal resources. I think we have been telling that for in every classes. I think that should get into your head. Even whatever the resources is X, Y, Z, you just have to read the same book, a set of books, and also the experiences that you have gained and the ecosystem, the friends you have. That friend circle is very, very important. That 2, 3 friends of yours will make a definitely will make a difference. That is very important. And there's one more rank holder. I don't want to mention her name. She had got rank 26th. Again, our own student. She did not clear 4 prelims. 4 prelims she did not clear. Fifth one she cleared prelims, but she did not have time to prepare because she had got fed up with the UPSC journey. 4 years of hard work. So she thought, I don't know whether I'll clear the prelims in my 5th attempt. So she had joined public policy in Delhi. So what happened that year she did not get time, but she cleared mains, she got into interview and she got ranked 26th in that attempt. So when I asked her what is that thing that helped you when you did not get time? So what she said is the accumulated knowledge that she had over the last 4 years. So that is the reason we always say, no, hard work will definitely pay. Though it might not happen at that moment, probably will take some time for that to happen. So she said, I used to make notes every attempt, though I did not clear prelims. I used to take a week's break, and then again I used to get back into the mains mode, though I was not appearing for mains. So that she had done continuously over 4 years, and a very brilliant student she was. So that accumulated knowledge over the years, the skill sets that you develop over those years are very, very important to clear, and also that friendship or the friend circle that you have and minimal resources. So these are the most, just to summarize, I've told you these are the most important things. And the so-called Gen Z crowd that we happen to see, they want, what I see is they want things very instantly. That is what everything they want instantly. That is why Insta is also clicked off so well. So they want results instantly. They just want to study for 1 month, 2 months, and they want to get rank 1. So this is how the mindset is. So with UPSC, all that I would like to say is that will not work. Because if you look at it, I think they're also like, if I'm done medicine and he's from NID Surathkal, I'm from RV College. So all of us have a good academical background. If that is the case, then I also did that mistake in my initial attempts wherein I thought, okay, I'll study for 1 month or 2 months or 3 months properly and I'll get a rank. That will not happen. So it is not a sprint, it is a marathon. That is one more thing you need to understand. You should be ready to give 2 years, complete 2 years, 1 year for preparation and 1 year for the exam process itself. So minimal 2 years you required to find a rank. Clear? So for this, what do you say? We were talking about this Gen Z crowd who wants things instantly. Bharat, I think it was a sixth attempt. So 6 years he has given. And Madhavi also, it is her fourth attempt. So 4 years. And also, if you look at what is happening in the news media, social media, and all, they rank one. Shakti Dubey, they have been trolled also certain things. What has happened is like, is it worth spending? It was a fifth attempt. So she has spent 6 good enough years. So the biggest question here is it worth to spend 6 years in UPSC? Okay, for that, what do you have to say?
Sir, I think definitely it is worth preparing for UPSC. There is no doubt in that. But I feel after preparing for 2 years, after complete preparation, if we are getting something is fine. But if you want to give one more, I mean, further attempts, I think it is always a better idea to keep something as a backup. Because as we go on this journey, we don't realize that we have spent many years, and we regret it later. So instead of that, I think after two attempts, maybe doing preparation along with work, or thinking where, analyzing where it is going wrong. And if possible, yeah, one more year we can give a try correcting all those mistakes. But if it is not possible, I think definitely there is no wrong in changing a career path also. And it is not that we are leaving completely the UPS journey, but it is always to be safe, because it gives mentally and financially, and I think it will be very stable to continue the journey. So, but it is a worth of preparing for UPSC, considering the scope of service and the satisfaction. I think definitely it's worth for trying.
I graduated in 2019 and I got my first rank in 2024. So that was 5 years of gap. And in that 5 years of period, I was thinking, yes, whether it is a good option to come to civil services. But after clearing the examination, when I look back, I think it has added much more thing to my personality as well as my knowledge. When I look at my friends who are in the IT sector, I think they are doing well and I'm doing well right now. But the major difference between them is the kind of thinking and the kind of opportunity that we get over the period of time. Probably by the age of 29, 30, you'll be at the position to decide the welfare of the people, and you'll be holding the important positions where you'll be able to handle the most important situations in the district. If you're clearing at the very young age, you'll be becoming the DC and SP at the age of 30, 32 or something. So that opportunity you won't get anywhere. But despite saying this, I want to consider two facts. That is, students who are still doing degree, if you're planning to come to a degree, first focus on degree. That should be a strong backup. And after that, you prepare for next 2 to 3 years or whatever it says. But if you're planning to go back, ensure that your prelims mains preparation is completely fine. Only the luck part is not on your side. If that's the case, then you can go back and give the examination parallelly. Until that, you should be preparing with the 100% of the effort. So in that 2 years of period, you should be very well prepared with solving MCQs. You should be prepared with answer writing skills, etc. So if the prelims is not clearing because of the luck part, then you can go to the sectors where you have gained degree and give the examination parallelly. But it's definitely worth giving the examination and cracking the examination. Then no other job will give the service or the kind of happiness that the civil service is going to give.
What kept you guys motivated? Like obviously 4 years, 5 years, it's a too long a time. So if somebody is starting at 24, 25, that person would have become 29, 30 years. So how did you keep yourself motivated throughout this journey?
So for me, doing civil services was a childhood dream. So that dream was very strong for me. So that was a reason why I decided to come to the UPSC preparation after my MBBS graduation. I had decided that I don't go for any specialization services. So that was very clear for me. I'm not going back there. And with that strong dream, think the qualities like after each failure, I think I used to realize that okay, there was something wrong in my preparation. So I used to analyze those reasons for failures, and I used to correct at each attempt. And in every attempt of my all these years, 4 years, I think there was a feeling every time that okay, I'm improving each time. So that attitude of realizing their own mistake and correcting again is, I think, it is a very necessary for anybody who's preparing. And along with that, I think the support from family and friends would be really important, because after failures we'll be very low, and anybody won't feel comfortable enough. I think in that period of time of distress, teachers, friends, and family plays a very important role. I think, for me, mainly that motivation, family, and friends were the most important for this journey.
It's absolutely similar to Madhavi, except the fact that it was not my childhood dream. It is an acquired dream over the period of time. After engineering, I decided to come to civil service. And the decision was very firm that I should be clearing the examination. And first 2 years, probably because of isolated studying, I was not able to understand where I was going wrong. But when I came to know where I was going wrong, it was consistent progression. In the first time, I couldn't clear the prelims, but in the second time, I cleared the prelims and I wrote mains. There, I got to know I was weak in few subjects, but unfortunately, in my third attempt, I couldn't clear the prelims again. And in fourth attempt, I met Bhanu Prakash during the interview phase. So we both prepared together. We constantly helped each other. So that helped me to clear the examination repeatedly and be held to the UPSC cycle. So that was it.
So, what was your biggest distraction when you were preparing?
So, as I started my preparation in 2021, I made sure that I uninstalled WhatsApp, Instagram, everything. So I wasn't using till I joined my work. I was out of completely social media for 3 years, probably. I think for me, right now, I'm not able to think any of the distractions, but there will be momentary distractions. If there was a feeling that if I'm meeting any of my friends who are already doing specialization, I used to feel that, okay, maybe did I take a wrong decision or something. But those are momentary distractions, I feel. Otherwise, I made sure that had kept away whatever distraction which probably come in my journey. I think kind of kept away from all those.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see that we are struggling to identify the distractions what we undergone in the preparation phase. Probably because majority of us will be uninstalling the social media account. I opened my Instagram account only after getting the rank last year, and I also installed WhatsApp after giving the interview last year. So I'm entering the social media after the 2023 interview phase. So that was not a distraction. But listening to music is my hobby, but I don't consider that as a distraction, because when we are reading the same books again and again, reading in the same sitting in the same place becomes very difficult. So at that time, I used to plug in earphones and play the songs and see the text or the videos parallelly, so whatever it happens, but not a strong distraction that I have encountered for the period of time. Probably that was a helpful thing for me in the examination cycle.
But again, especially with Insta, I think hours together it goes just by scrolling. But anyways, there's nothing bad about social media, but it's all about how do you balance it off. And it's very difficult, especially at your age. Especially at 20 to 25, you're so tempted to see anything and everything. And it becomes very difficult to not to look into it. So anyways, if you really have that dream of making it in 1, 2 years, then definitely you should avoid it as much as possible. Fine. So coming to the interview phase, any funniest question that you came across in the interviews, or very interesting, or very even it can be out of the box kind of question?
In this year interview, one of the panel member asked me why in India we have the steering wheel to the right and in European nations it is to the left. It is usually a general knowledge question. I mean, it's a common sense. Yes, exactly same. Because of the historical factors, and also we can give the cultural emphasis of the Asian nations where we use the right hand more and the brain lateralization. If you're going to think in that perspective, so I gave these two reasons, and he seems to be satisfied with that. So they will be checking not just your knowledge but also your thinking ability, the line of thinking. So that will be more helpful. And also they give the situations, if you're a DC, if you're an SP, how would you control it? Will you be able to impose a complete ban on alcohol? So it is not just about being idealistic. We should ban alcohol. We say that, but is it possible? Is it economically feasible? Will it lead to any black marketing, bootlegging? So that kind of questions that may arise over the interview panels.
So there were quite a few interesting questions in my interview. I think one of the questions I remember right now is they made me, there was a calendar in that interview room. So they made me to read what is written on that. So it was in Hindi and it was about farmer. देश की किसान की उन्नति देश की प्रगति or something like that. So with that and recently there was this Swamitwa scheme was in news, so they related with that how it is helping farmers, and they kind of redirected to female farmers. So there is a discrimination between male and female farmers, so how can you solve that? That is one question. And I think second question, they asked me what is the meaning of my name, and he interview member told that okay, your name goes with more of spiritual kind. So are you really a spiritual person? So in that way, it was a very light moment, light questions. I think yeah. They were very, I got questions from different areas, except my health background, I got from every area. I think it was quite different and unexpected questions for me.
In fact, she had put IFS as fifth, and she got a lot of questions on international relations as well. So that is one of my student had put, I think, traveling as his hobby. So they asked him, which is your favorite destination? So he happened to say Paris. Then they said, okay, I'll give you one day. You tell me 24 hours, how did you spend your time in Paris? And you have to give me an hourly update. Like say, morning, I'll wake up at this time. So he said, I'll wake up, I'll go for a walk. I'll come back, I'll freshen up, then I'll have my breakfast, all that. Then he said he'll have a meeting with delegates or something like that. And then he wants to visit what was that? A museum or something like that. So it is one of the famous museums there in Paris. And also he was very much interested in education sector. So he said he'll go and visit the schools and colleges in Paris. Then he'll come back. So it went like that. So why that was such a beautiful question? Because that one day it completely tells what you are. Because in the DAF, you would have mentioned something that is related to education, and he had put walking or jogging as his hobby. So only a person who has an habit of waking up early in the morning and goes for a jog will say that I'll wake up in the morning, then I'll go for a jog and come back. Or also what they're trying to check is whether there's consistency in what you have written in the DAF and what you are as a person. And the other thing that Bharat was saying was common sense. In fact, when I had taken in the orientation session, also I had put an image wherein there is a space where the thief or robber can escape from that window. Instead of that, he puts an AC and sleeps. So it is about how bigger the vision is, the presence of mind, and common sense plays a very important role. And I would like to hear it from the toppers themselves. The role of common sense in be it prelims, mains, or interview. I feel common sense plays a role at all the three stages, and we don't give that importance to it. Why am I trying to ask such questions or telling you all this is because these are things that actually you do not focus. You think that you will come to the class, you'll listen what is done in the class, you'll go back, you'll mug up things, and you'll get a rank. That will not happen at all. Because that will, as I said earlier, also I've said in my other earlier sessions, whatever you're reading is only 60 to 70% of your success. The remaining 30% is on your mental frame, mental health, all that. So in that comes common sense, presence of mind, all that. So the role of common sense in all the three stages of the exam.
So absolutely, it is very much required. Especially in prelims, we can see the importance of common sense, that too in eliminating the options. In few of the options, we can see that it is not at all connected, and a few options are not at all possible to be in the happening criteria. So in that prelims, it is a major boosting factor. Since as I've told earlier, only 30 to 40 questions we will be knowing answer. Not any person will be knowing more than 40 questions right, 100% right. We'll be attempting the remaining 40, 50 questions based on the intuition, based on the common sense, based on whatever we think must be right. So there the common sense will come into play, and that will be deciding whether you'll be clearing the prelims or not. And the prelims is the gateway for mains and getting the rank. So common sense is the gateway to get the rank, we can say as well. And for mains, common sense can be helpful in analyzing the demand of the question, because when we see the question, we will be overwhelmed. We see that okay, food processing industries. We know a lot of numbers. We know a lot of schemes, but how do we use them? And there are few questions where we don't know anything, but we know it is linked to some subject. So we just try to analyze. Okay, if they have asked art and culture of some Gupta period, if we don't know any particular example, if we know the index page of art and culture, we can write, okay, there is some sculpture, there should be some painting, there should be some temple. Just write, they were following the Hinduism. We know that, everyone know that, but we don't think of writing that, because since we assume that that the people will be knowing, it will be looking lame, but something will be better than nothing. So that's the thing that will be helpful in mains as well. And in the interview, they'll definitely check for common sense. That is one of the major criteria that is required for any civil servant to handle the situation in a proper manner and to make a good decision for the people and for the district concerned. So these are the things I think very much help.
Yeah, definitely. Common sense, as people say that common sense is not so common. I think people will forget that to use that in, I think, every aspect. I'll slightly change the word that common sense. I think with common sense, I think it's very important to do common things. Okay, this is a mistake I did in my first attempt, first prelims, which I couldn't clear, where I studied current affairs. Like I did revision almost for 5 to 6 times the monthly current affairs for 1 year. I had repeatedly did for 5 to 6 times, but I ignored basic books because I think I didn't have any guidance, and I didn't know what to do. I was just I had just this hype that okay, current affairs is very important, but yeah, I ignored these basic books and common things. So that was the one thing we should do. Common things first, where all the toppers do. I think there will be a thing that again I had a feeling that okay, this everybody will write. This is a common thing, and this is a common example we use in even in answer writing mains. I think it's must first. I think to do common things first. Then I think we can progress further. But it is definitely do common things first. And yeah, common sense matters a lot in interview, to be present in that time and answer. And there won't be any manipulation there. You will be yourself while you are answering there. For that, I think just taking a pause and using the common sense of us, I think it plays a very important role.
So Madhavi has put it rightly, doing the most common things. So that is almost 70 to 80% is the same. Whatever you see, she has got a rank, he has got a rank. There are 1,000 students who have got rank this time. So all of them would have done 70% the same thing. So what she meant by common things is sticking to one source. That is a common thing. Writing answers, answer writing practice, that is a common thing. So these are things that she is trying to tell. So that has to be done for whatever, like if you want to get into that list, that is something that is common that you should all do it. Then that 20-30% is your way of individual uniqueness that you bring in. It can be in your answers, it can be in elimination, it can be in presenting your answers in the interview. So it is like that. So that is what she has put it very beautifully. Yeah. So any one book that you have read and you found it that had zero value in UPSC preparation.
We don't waste the knowledge. We use it some or the other way. Either in mains, we try to push that in some of the points, or in the essay. At least in the essay, we have a lot of opportunity to include whatever we know, unique things we know. So we don't do the things which is not very much required for UPSC. But if we are doing, we should be utilizing that wherever possible in the examination. So I'm not able to find any book as such.
I would not say multiple some books, but in first attempt I used to do multiple current affairs, multiple some 3 to 4 coaching institute current affairs materials. I think that was a waste in my attempt. Then in my next attempt I stick to one current affairs material and all the standard books. I think I have kept all my basic and standard books constant for all my attempts.
When it comes to time management between the subjects, that is something that students find it difficult. Some of them, they give more importance to current affairs. So that's what she's been telling. So it doesn't work out like that. A fair understanding of current affairs, but as Bharat also said, more importance should be given to the core subjects that you read. That is the same. That is again a common thing. That is again a common thing as per Madhavi. Polity, history, economics, geography, science and tech and environment will always be my priority. That will be backed by current affairs. That is how the preparation should happen. Even when we were preparing in those days, so we didn't have any mentors as such, and we used to do a lot of current affairs. Because when I started my preparation, there was a friend of mine. He was also from same college, but he had just gone 1 year before me because I was selected for the campus placement and I started working. I worked for 3 years before quitting and then started UPSC. So when I checked with him, Yatara, how do you think, how do you have to prepare for UPSC? He had given me such a beautiful advice. He told me, ಇವಾಗ ಇರುವೆ ಏನ್ ತಿನ್ನುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಾನೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. Even what an ant eats, you should know. So then I got really scared. So UPSC and this is what so much we should read. Everything under the sun should be read. Then he had told me that there were tube lights coming. Now we don't find tube lights here. So behind the tube light, there's a number put. Okay, so he used to tell me a number kuda they'll ask. So in fact, I went, stood in my house, took a chair, went there and I was checking for the number. What is that number? So there is a lot of false advices that is given. So you should also know to whom you should ask the right set of questions. There are right concerned mentors. You should actually ask them. Even she will be knowing the same thing. He will be knowing the same thing. You're all at the same frequency level. And in Chandra layout, everybody is a mentor. From Xerox shop guy to the broker who shows you the room, PGs, everybody becomes mentor here. So you need to know whom to actually approach. So these are certain myths or false advices. So this is what I had gotten when I was preparing. So did you have such beautiful advices? No, they were in safe hands because ours is 1 decade earlier, Allah. So that was the time where there were no institutions in Bangalore. Everybody had to go to Delhi. We were the ones who changed that course to wind to south. So that is how. So that was the advices. Those were the advices given. So that is why be careful because see, if there's something that is free available in the world, that is advices, right? Gyan. So adhike you need to be you need to be attentive and be careful on choosing whom you should actually approach, right?
I gave my first two attempts from my home where didn't have access to any mentor. By that time, I was listening to the YouTube videos by the toppers. So they were saying you should be doing daily answer writing. You should be solving MCQs. I religiously followed them, what they have said, and got through the prelim stage and wrote mains. So if you're not able to get the mentor, at least watch the videos. Since you're in IASbaba, the mentors will be available. You can watch the toppers video. You'll get to know what to do and what is the right path. Don't believe in everyone. So that may backfire.
Every topper gives a different strategy, right? So probably what has worked out for her is different. What has worked out for him is different. So you would have also experienced the same. So how did you because you cannot implement everyone's strategy, right? So how did you go about handling that?
So my advice would be keep 1 day for listening all the topper talks and make a summary of that and think which is called. Yes, maybe. See the things which they have done in common, that one you should do. And pick the innovative ones that will add the value addition. And third, choose the things which you can do first. Then you can start implementing. So don't overwhelm. If you want to see multiple things, see them at once and leave it. If you're following mentor, just believe them religiously and hope that he'll be helping to clear the examination and believe just go with the advisors. So believe in one person who is very much trusted and do whatever he says.
Yeah, in my initial days of preparation, I think I was all preparing alone. Even when I just started and wanted to get all the books, what I did was I went through all the websites and topper advisors. I made a list of books. I made a list of all the books, and I circled all the common things which are there in everything. Then I got those books initially, and as you are doing, you will get an idea. You see what which has worked out for others and what not. I think you will get an idea as you are doing. But I think in beginning times, I think it's very much required to take opinion. And it is also very wrong idea that I know that, and I'll start directly, because it is always better to have what has gone wrong for the toppers. I think because we do not reinvent the wheel again and again, right? So it's not, and there is no time to repeat those mistakes, and it's better to learn from those mistakes and uh, involve in our preparation.
It's rightly put. So all the common things noted down, both the positives and negatives. Positives are everything. I mean, all the topics would have done. Negatives in the sense mistakes that they have committed, because we have one life, I think, and you have to come out of this vicious cycle of UPSC as soon as possible. The sooner you come out, it is always a relief, because every time I speak to somebody who has cleared, when I ask them how are you feeling, the only word that I get is big relief. More than happiness, it is the word relief. So that is why you need to understand, the quicker you come out, it is always better. Or else you'll get into that cycle and you never know when you will get out of it. So, and people have already done it and done and dusted. So you have to make a list of it. All the common things they have done, all the common mistakes they have committed. So from there, you should start your journey. So there are many things. So we are trying to give the best things for you in the conversation so that you understand what to do, what not to do. In UPSC journey, what not to do is much important than anything else. Or else you will spend 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, it keeps going on, right? So always keep this in mind. And as they've already said, 2 years, 1, 2 years, good enough. You have to give that. Even then, if you're not clearing, find out an alternative job and still prepare. That I'm not saying you should give away that dream. Give the dream, but at the cost of what? Right? All that should be looked into, because all of you keep looking at the number of attempts, but nobody looks into the age. Right? 25 you have started, 5 attempts, you'll be 30. So you're looking at attempts, nobody's looking at the age. So please keep that in mind. Usually we say that optional essay and ethics will get you a very good rank. So what is your opinion on that? And is there any changes from earlier preparation, especially with respect to essay and ethics? Because since it is an highly scoring and that will decide many things in your card or all that. So that is the reason I'm asking this question.
Yeah, I think in getting a rank or services, I think this essay, ethics, and optional plays a very important role. In my case, I think in last year I couldn't clear because of my marks in essay. I had scored very less, that is 99 marks compared to my first mains. In first mains, I had got already 110. So in second mains, I think yeah, that was the reason for not getting, at least not qualifying in mains. I think what the mistake I did was in choosing an essay topic in essay paper. I think that plays a very important role. We should know that which is a topic where we are comfortable to write, and whether we have enough content, enough example and facts, and can we elaborate in a clear way what we are thinking. I think that plays a very important role in essay. And for essay, I think collecting examples, anecdotes, facts, and preparing basic content for the common topics. Again, common things like education, health, and nowadays, since there are more of philosophical questions, I think just like a basic things based on emotions, happiness. I think there are continuous questions on happiness since 2 to 3 years. I think preparing at least minimum content for these topics will play a big role. And for ethics, ethics, we know that we feel that we know everything in ethics, everything, whatever it is, whether it is right or wrong. But when we are writing in a paper, we don't know how to write and how to put those our thoughts in words. I think understanding that will become again a challenging task. For that, I think going through some of the videos, topper copies, how they have written, and what has worked for them. I think that plays a very important role. And collecting again examples, common ethical examples, and knowing the definitions of ethical keywords. Yeah, preparing each keyword in UPSC main syllabus is must for any paper to that matter.
For ethics, I have diligently followed what Sir has advised me in 2023, and I had got very good scores in ethics as well as essay in 2023, where I had got my first rank, that is 667 in the 2023. I think for ethics, it is the game of keywords, it is a game of examples, it is a game of quotes. You should have the collection. Sir must have told you in the class. You should know by heart, and you should be using that in multiple ways possible, because in ethics we don't get the questions directly from the textbook. It is all about writing and adjusting the things that you know. So between prelims and mains, I used to keep around 1 hour for writing the ethics answer. I just take the questions, whether it may be P by Q or some random question, whether now we can use chat GPT as well to generate the questions, and start writing at least 3 to 4 questions on a daily basis. You write, and that is the skill that is required for ethics. That should have definition, examples, keywords, and that should be ensuring your good score. And with respect to essay, I think it is the collection of good examples, and most importantly, there is some misconception that you should be writing essay on the topic that no other people writes. If you are selecting that kind of topic, then you'll not be able to gauge, and also there are possibility that you won't be knowing the words properly. Probably in 2022, there was some word mirage, some Maya. I forgot. Mirage or some a difficult word. People definitely will not write down that. And also mathematics is some uh, mathematics. Yeah, that kind of question. Yeah, that kind of question. No one others writes. That's because that is risky and you will not be able to get the dimensions. Choose the topic, even if other people are also writing. Choose the topic where you feel confident and try to write better than others. How do you write better than others? Try to get unique examples. Even if you start writing today, I'm sure the more than 50% of copies will be having Rajaram Mohan Roy. That's the first example. And later comes Akbar, Gandhiji, right? Ambedkar. Yeah, write some quote and give credits to Gandhiji. So I have seen this in majority of the answer copies. So try to stay away from these. Collect unique examples. Take the subheadings. From the economy, try to collect the unique examples. And from the current affairs, you can take up the examples. In essay, you have a lot of opportunity to impress the evaluator, and that is where you can get extra 30-40 marks. In general studies, you cannot think of improving extra 30-40 marks, but in essay, that is very much possible. And also in ethics, you can work more upon that. There is, because of subjectivity and based on the answers that the previous person has written, if you can skip the common people, IAS officer, other people's right. If you're able to collect unique examples, that will impress the evaluator, and that will help you fetch good marks.
So I think one more mistake what Bharat said I did in my second mind. So I was thinking that I should write some very good topic which nobody is writing. So I had chosen this mathematics is a music of a reason. So mathematics was my favorite subject during PU. So I thought that okay, I'll choose that topic, but I didn't have enough content. I realized that when I started the essay and I was in the middle, and that was a very huge mistake which I did. For that, I paid by scoring very less in that. And again, one more mistake. What I did was allotting more time for one essay and less time for another. I spent 2 hours writing very good essay on first topic and 1 hour for the next topic. That was also a huge mistake, I think, which cannot be repaired. This time I made sure that I'm selecting very common topics which I know better, and I gave equal importance to two essays. And this time I utilized my strength where I finished my essays by writing some poems. So that it at least when evaluator is giving a marks, at least somebody might get impressed that, okay, she has put extra efforts and give some 1 or 2 extra marks. So I did that. Yeah.
So what they're talking about is the validation part. But for you, I think at your stage of preparation, you should focus on the conceptual part. That is again a common thing that you should do. And to improvise, because what they were saying, see, till getting 400, I think it is out of GS 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 380 to 400 is something that you can get. But 400 to 420 is one hell of a preparation or one hell of a journey. Because that 20 marks, you have to get half a mark in every answer in every paper. So every question, in fact, that is very, very difficult. And for that, you have to do so much of circus. And also, there are students who come saying, should I put diagrams in all my answers? Pictorial representation. There's nothing like that. There are students who I have seen not even put a single diagram, but still have gone and got good ranks. So what I'm trying to tell is there's nothing like this is the most, sought after strategy that will get you ranks. So answer presentation, it should be a mix and it should come natural. Just for the sake of putting a diagram, you cannot put. There are people who have done that in an essay also. Say essay, usually it is more a flow of thoughts. Usually we don't recommend diagrams, all that. But if it comes with that flow, it is still fine. And choosing the essay topic is very important. And that mistake even I have done, because they are always my seniors used to tell me, choose a topic which nobody has chosen, that will get you marks. But what will happen is that content will be very less. You cannot bring in dimensions in that. And the other mistake that most of them do is allocating the time for essay. One essay, we do it like 1 hour, 45 minutes, 2 hours. Then the next essay will not even have time. But ultimately, both the essays are counted for your final marks. So you can write good enough answers in 3.5 hours. But the time limit is only 3 hours. So you have to keep that in mind. And ethics also, what happens, ethics is something that you feel that you know all those words. Empathy, sympathy, honesty, integrity. You don't feel it is very difficult, perseverance, all that. But once you start writing the answer, only you will understand how difficult it is. So anyway, I don't think ethics has been done for you. But whenever it is done, conceptual understanding is important. Then it's all about value additions that you were saying. Examples, case studies, codes that you bring in, all that. So that is with respect to ethics and essay. And going to the last part, that is, I think prelims is something that most of you would be, what do you say, more interested, because some of you here would be giving prelims attempt this time. So let us focus on prelims. Especially Madhavi, she has cracked almost all the attempts except for one. So they have got a knack of cracking prelims. And for many, cracking prelims itself is the biggest challenge. In fact, they go 6 attempts without cracking prelims. And for some, once they crack prelims, they'll always get a rank. So this is how it happens. And even Bharat, for that matter, I think he's cracked all the, except for one, I think you've cracked all. Except 2, but you have cracked all the, so in 6 attempts, you have cracked prelims 4 times. So obviously there's something in them that has helped them to crack prelims every time. So let us understand what it is. And the other part is for students who are preparing, who are giving this exam this year, in next 20 days or 25 days, what should be the strategy?
I think for clearing prelims, I feel three most important things are, first will be previous year questions. So at least one should go through previous questions of past 10 years at least, and should see what they're asking and what they're focusing on. If you see the PYQs, you will see the trend and the most important topics which they are keep repeating every year. Even though we feel like they're asking more difficult questions nowadays in prelims since past 2-3 years, only because of these options, only 1, only 2, only 3. But still they are asking from the same topics. If I can give example, from polity, they are asking on this constitution. Constitution definition means what? This limited government. They are asking since 3 years. I think for continuously they have asked for 3 years. So it becomes very important to analyze the PYQ so that we'll get to know what to read at least. Because we cannot read everything, because a huge syllabus along with current affairs and covering basic books, it becomes a challenge. Because we don't have a clear syllabus also for prelims. So these PYQs will become a framework for our preparation, first thing. And second, solving mocks as many as possible. So I used to solve at least minimum 30 to 40 marks before prelims, and I used to give in a very particular time. I used to follow this. Okay, I should give prelims usually will be from 9:30 to 11:30, so I used to give one general studies paper at within that same time, at least on weekends, probably on Sundays, Saturdays or Sundays. I used to follow that. And focusing may equally on CSAT has become a very big thing right now, because many are not getting qualified because they are not able to qualify this in CSAT, even though it is only a qualifying paper, and getting 66.6 mark has become a very challenging in that. So at least 75% should be given for GS, and 25% is must for CSAT. At least not more than 100 marks or 150 marks in CSAT, but at least we should know to qualify in that. So in that case, we should practice as many as possible, because there is no substitute for practice, I think. And third thing, seeing the mistakes and correcting in each mock test. So I used to go through the synopsis for each mock test for at least for 2 to 3 hours, and I see where I'm going wrong, and keeping in mind that I'm not going to repeat the same mistakes in the next test. At least those improvements in 2 to 3 questions in each test has mattered a lot in me, because I was not a prelims expert. I used to score at least this qualifying marks in each of my prelims. I used to not score more than 100 or 120, but I was quite comfortable in getting this 90 to 100 at least. So, and even in CSAT, I used to work hard, because since although it was my favorite subject in 12th, I had gap of this 5.5 years. So I used to be scared of that. Okay, what if I'm not qualifying in CSAT and getting more marks in GS? There is no point in that. So I used to stress more on that CSAT and GS equally, at least before 30 days. And fourth point, it's already included, because sticking to again basic books and revising them, uh, uh, it will become undisputed, I think. Yeah. What I'll say what I did, more than suggesting what you should do. I used to do. I was giving continuously mocks, at least 2 mocks in a week before prelims, at least 30 days of prelims, and I used to go back and revise as many as basic subjects as possible, at least in a day, 2 to 3 basic subjects like polity, economy, and environment. I used to prioritize subjects, because for me, polity, economy, environment and geography were top 3, because history, they are asking very unpredictable questions which nobody can answer. So I was keeping them in last to revise, because even though I read history now, I might have forgotten at the end. So I used to keep history at the end, maybe probably in the last 10 days. I used to just go through the facts. And after history, this science and technology and international relations are of more of current affairs. So um, more than basic static thing, it used to be current affairs. So the last 3 were history and international relations and science and tech. I used to just see at least 1 hour a day, but focusing more on polity, economy, geography, environment were priority for me.
Anyways, the strategy remains almost the same. As I said, last 25 days, it's more to do with revision and taking more number of tests. And if not for UPSC, what would you have done?
It is an obvious question. I would have been continued as a doctor, but in a doctor, I didn't know what to do, because I haven't done specialization. It is just a MBBS degree. But as when I joined as a consultant medical officer in an NGO, it was mainly on public health. So I had already decided when I joined that work. I realized that, okay, if not UPSC, I'm gonna continue in public health, probably as a maybe a public health expert, or a administrator in public health. More than getting into hospital setup, I would have worked in that area.
For me, because of the engineering graduation, the exit would have been the engineering, but after that, I would have chosen for higher studies, probably the public administration. The colleges in Bangalore are really good. The National Law University, they are offering the course on public policy making, and I would have done that. And apart from that, I would have generated interest. Like I love literature, Kannada literature, so I would have chosen something to do in that Kannada literature part as well. So didn't thankful that it didn't happen like clear the examination, but don't think much about the plan B unless it is very much required.
If you have to go back and to your younger self, say what they are at, and that is you have started your preparation. What advice would you like to give yourself?
I feel like I should have known these things, that to do common things first at the beginning when I started the preparation, because I started with full hi-fi books and all this full whole bunch of current affairs material. If I was at that stage, maybe probably to hear from somebody that okay, doing common things will work, maybe it would have been better for me.
There may be people from engineering background from very good college and people from medicine background from very good college. Please do forget about that. This is very much of a level playing field. Everyone is equal. The very good engineers who have gained really good rank in JEE have seen people failing in CSAT as well. So remove all that and start as afresh and try to learn the things as soon as possible. And this first 1 year is going to be a change maker. If you're going to invest your time on the basic books diligently, if your foundation is very strong, then it is a very much important thing for the next mains preparation as well as interview preparation, whatever it is required. But first 1 year is going to decide and follow diligently.
What is IASbaba for you?
So last year I had written a letter to Baba where I have mentioned Baba has been a good friend over the period of time and has been a good teacher over the period of time. And so that has been a proper summary of what it has been in the past 3 years. Because whenever the opportunity comes, even before the result, I was looking for the MCQs for prelims. Sir is running a 60 days plan, so I was following that diligently. That includes the general studies as well as the CSAT part. So in every aspect of the UPSC preparation, Baba has helped me in the phase. But most helpful was the essay and ethics part, which is the game changer for UPSC, and as well as in the interview. The interview, we just think of gaining the information, etc. But the thinking pattern is the most important thing. And Sir had forwarded me some YouTube videos which he had spoken about in the previous years, and that was the most important thing that is required. Even Shashank had spoken about that. He suggested me regarding that one.
I was mostly involved during my interview preparation with Baba, and I think the inputs from Mohan Sir, especially while giving DAF 2, I think I didn't know, since it was my first time which I was filling for my interview. I didn't know anything, and there was lot of anxiety and what to give, what not to give, because since most of the interview will go on DAF 2, I didn't know what to do. So that interview DAF analysis session, and there was one more session with Dr. Akash Shankar sir. So that was really helpful. And I think, yeah, that has helped me so much for the interview preparation and reducing my anxiety.
Any questions from your end? I think most of the questions I have only asked. Anything that is remaining that you want to ask? So basically, he's asking, how do you handle current affairs in the last 1 month? Possible, do you have to touch current affairs?
I don't usually do, at least last 15 days. I think that is safe. You can leave. Questions can never come from last 15 days. But last 1 month, you can leave. Focus more on the current affairs, this static part. Cover current affairs in 1 month. Okay. Don't do anything new. If you have done monthly magazine, fix to monthly magazine. If you have done PT, do the PT. Don't do anything new. Just give the proper time. If you are focusing on the general studies, you must be left with 3 to 4 hours. And if you are doing PT, the one advantage is if you are studying polity, you can take the polity PT and study parallelly. That would be complementary to each other, and that will add value to the mains part as well over the period of time. So don't do anything new now.
For the first 2 years of my preparation, I used to follow monthly current affairs diligently, and I used to revise in the last 2 to 3 months of prelims. But since now I don't have much privilege for time, so I'm following yearly compilation for current affairs. Even in that, I'll be preferring current affairs only in these subjects like science and technology, environment. and international relations. For the rest of the things, I think if you are very strong in basics, and there won't be any difficulty in at least solving MCQs, I feel. So you should know what subjects to read for current affairs. But because you should know the trends, for example, in economy and polity, what are the recent happenings, what are the recent Supreme Court cases, what are the issues which are in there in news. But I don't feel current affairs would be prioritized more than basic. First is basics, then current affairs. But for these rest of the topics like science and tech, environment, and IR, current affairs will become important.
Just one thing, one interesting thing that I want to say. I was actually called to give a lecture for 8-year-old kids to 12, 13 years old kids. So that age group, so I, before the going and talking to them, obviously see the way I speak here, I cannot go and speak to them like that. Nothing will get inside their head or I'll not make any sense to them. So I, thought, why not let me use Chat GPT. So in Chat GPT, I asked, how do you explain a civil servant to a 10-year-old kid? And the answer was, civil servants are superheroes. So that is the, I mean, what you are getting into is it is a superhero. It is because, why do you call, see, there are heroes, hero or heroines. When you say the star of the movie, probably why do you call them hero or heroines? Because you can do anything there. You will be able to bash up the villains, all that. You'll be able to save your family. You'll be able to jump from this building to another building. So, but what is the difference between hero and superhero? The hero will have the power to do it, and that is what civil servant is. That is how I explained, and they connect it so well. From Avenger movies, they have so many characters, Hulk to whatever it is, right? Thor, all that. So they were able to connect. So that is how. So ChatGPT, so any funny thing like that you tried in ChatGPT?
I think I have used Chat GPT. I think mostly in interview preparation. So in that, I used to give a keyword. Okay, if I have given something as, okay, there was a keyword that forensic medicine in my DAF. So I used to just give forensic medicine, and I used to ask ChatGPT, okay, I'm appearing in civil services interview, and what are the question I can expect. So I think I have abused ChatGPT immensely in my interview preparation. I used to ask very common questions. Okay, my name is this, and I am from this place, and what are the questions do you think, and how to answer in a very impressive way, and how to add quality to my answers. And even I have used. I used to speak. There was one more AI called Gemini or something, where I used to speak in front of that. I used to answer that, and it was analyzing my answers. Okay, how to answer, or whether in a confident manner, whether in a loud voice, or whether how to modulate a few words and all. I think I have used that.
Yeah, ChatGPT has been very much useful, especially in the interview phase. But to coming to the funny aspect of ChatGPT, we were uploading the DAF and generating the question. One of my friend is he is doctor, and my DAF includes me as an engineer. It holds the memory in the ChatGPT, and the first question was, "You're doctor as well as engineer. How do you see the civil service?" So that was the funny part. And majority of the questions it gave a really good answer, but one of my question, it was not very much well answered. That is, I asked ChatGPT to give 2025 prelims paper, but it couldn't give that. I'm very much dissatisfied with that.
Mains notes. How did you prepare notes for mains?
Okay, for mains, I think don't prepare notes from the scratch, because market will be having the notes which everyone is following. Do 100% of that and do value additions over that. Because once you start preparing the notes, the 3 months between prelims and mains will be gone there. And you don't remember. Once you start making notes, it's not guaranteed that you'll be remembering, because your intention is to gain the information and write in the paper. But when you're reading, the intention is to remember. So don't do notes. Take the material which is available in the market and do value additions over them. And most importantly, when you're studying the something, you try to include that in your answers. So if you're doing mains preparation, that is do validation and try to write the questions based on the topic that you have studied on that day. So with regard to preparation, I think it is writing the answers on daily basis. And sir has told in the initial phase of the discussion, The people who don't clear the prelims just pass the time between the prelims and mains, and by the end of December, they'll realize the prelims is coming and just start preparing for prelims. That shouldn't be the case. Even if you're not clearing the prelims, I hope you all clear the prelims. Even if you're not clearing the prelims, you think that you have cleared the prelims and start preparing the mains. Try to think that you are going to get the mains, and by that time you'll be completing whatever it is required. The optional you'll complete, the ethics you'll complete, and you'll gain the knowledge that is required for mains answer writing. So in that period, that will be much helpful thing. And then you can start preparing for prelims. Now you'll be very much ready to go for next attempt, or else you'll be preparing for prelims again and again.
So for mains preparation, I think the dual mantra is notes and answer writing. For notes, what I did was I had prepared 100 to 150 pages of notes for each paper, GS1, GS2, GS3. In that, I had followed this framework of following according to the syllabus in a serial wise manner. I had prepared a basic content, examples, facts for each topic in the syllabus. So I prepared that notes. Okay, that you have to do, as Sir said, with a value addition and with your common notes, which I had prepared for prelims. You can do that maybe within, you have to limit as much as possible, because you cannot read everything, because there will be a very short period between prelims and mains. You have to concise as much as possible. And for last minute revision, out of this 150 pages, I had made short notes, because again, because there will be very almost half an hour to 1 hour between two papers, GS1 and GS2, when you're writing mains. I had prepared that in like 4 to 5 pages. I had concised all that 150 pages notes in 5 pages. So I just written only keywords, numbers, and examples. So I think that short notes, very short notes, you can do during your mains preparation, but you can start doing this common mains notes even when you are preparing for prelims, I think.
Any other questions? Obviously, a template should be kept ready. Any topic you take, say demographic dividend, financial inclusion, whatever it is, intro and conclusion should be ready. Say 4 to 5 points positives, 4 to 5 points negative can be ready, and more of value additions, examples, case studies, facts, indexes. I think that would do for every topic. You like that 20 topics actually in every paper. So you have 1 page ka notes for every topic also would do. Don't get into too much of note making. That will take a hell lot of time, and finally you'll realize you've wasted all your time. Yeah. Any other questions?
So he is asking those who are planning to give next attempt, that is 2026 prelims. So what should be the strategy to follow in a year? So I would say start with your basic things, basic books, start with that, and keep in mind that you are preparing in an integrated manner for all the stages. There is nothing like I'm preparing completely for prelims, mains, and interview. You keep everything in your mind. So when you are going through the basic subjects like if polity, economy, you simultaneously you go through PYQs of both prelims and mains. You will get an idea that what are the important topics, and accordingly you can you can plan your mocks maybe once in a 10 days or 20 days. You can start giving mocks also. Again, for both prelims and mains, you have to start solving MCQs and also answer writing. Answer writings, I would say, you should start from day one, because even I was thinking in my first attempt that, okay, let me prepare more and write, because I wasn't confident enough. But at least start writing, write something. Even you can start writing about yourself also. Okay, if you are maybe if you want to start with, it's not that you have to become an expert and start everything. You just start and keep analyzing yourself. Okay, whether you are going in the right direction, and whether you are going with the direction of UPSC syllabus. You keep syllabus and start.
Before December, you should be completing the things that is required for mains. That is optional should be completed. And going chronologically, now you should focus on the basic subjects, because the governance is the extension of polity and disaster management is the extension of geography. So these 4 core subjects must be in the top priority. You finish that and try writing answers as soon as possible. Even if you don't get questions, if you're reading the Regulating Act, just write the question, what are the features of Regulating Act? And when you start writing, you will get the habit of writing introduction, body, conclusion. So that is the start that is required. After that, you can go to the questions which can be analytical. But for the next 2 months, you write answers and essay. Once you have completed all these subjects, then you can think of writing essay. But in the first essay, you can think of writing the top subject wise, whether it may be related to some geography or some social issue or something like that. Then you can go to philosophical. Once you straightly go to philosophical, the analytical part becomes quite difficult. So go phase wise. But by the end of December, the things, majority of the things that is required for mains should be completed. That I believe. After that, after January, you should be focusing on prelims since it is your first attempt.
How do you revise? Revision strategy.
So I used to do revision based on a daily and weekly basis. At the end of the day, I used to do revision mostly before sleeping. That half an hour to 1 hour I used to keep for revising whatever I studied in that day. Even though if I had studied for 3 to 4 hours, I used to keep at least just going through that again. And again on weekly basis. Okay, what I've gone through all that week, I used to revise on weekly basis. And I used to write. I have a habit of writing whenever I'm reading. I used to just note down keywords and whatever, like making short notes, just taking a A4 sheet paper and folding it half and half. And I used to just write while I'm studying. So those would become my revision notes at the end of the day and at the end of the week.
That's almost similar, but if I'm taking general studies from 9 to 1 o'clock in the morning, then I'll finish the subject by 12:30 and try to revise what I have studied till then. And similar thing for the current affairs. If I'm doing 2 to 5, then I'll finish it by 4:45 and then last 15 minutes for then. And after the end of the subject, in the middle of the subject, I used to take the test. And before one day, if I'm taking test on 21st, 20th day is for a revision. And then I have to give the test. So as many revisions as possible that you must be doing. That is only possible if you have made notes, solid notes.
Basically, with revision, what they're trying to tell you is daily revision is important. More than daily, it is hourly revision. So gone are the days where we think, okay, I'll cover all the subjects. Then last 3 months of prelims, before prelims, I'll start revising every subject. It doesn't work out like that. So hourly revision, daily revision, and once you cover a few topics, you can take the test. I always keep saying that tests are the best way to revise and recollect, because it is making you think at the same time, making you recollect at the same time. That is nothing but revision and thinking happens at the same time. Okay. Okay. One final question from what I was actually about to ask was when I gave that question to ChatGPT, it said superhero or heroine, right? So now that you have that power, what one change you want to bring in the society?
I had this dream of IAS because to serve as many as people, and when I entered my graduation, I realized that I think because we know how the system works, so I wanted to better it, especially in health sector. And my parents are teachers, so I wanted to do in education and women and child development. So this was always been my priority. If I get a chance that if I go into the administration, because probably I might get IPS. Health system will be my first priority, so that it should become affordable, available, and health for all, accessible health, yeah, for all.
In fact, I mean, I think doctor is the best service that you can do. And in fact, she's working in an NGO. So even what people say is we want to serve the society, all that. So what I'm trying to tell is you can do service even without getting into civil services. And NGO is something that she has worked upon. Do you want to share anything on that?
Yeah, definitely. So when I started working, it was a very accidental, because I didn't want to join, I didn't want to work preparing, because even my parents were scared that okay, she'll leave preparation, and when she starts earning, she might ignore the preparation. But after 2 years of exhaustive preparation, I felt that okay, being a doctor, at least I should do something. I should utilize my graduation. So I started working. After joining there, I realized that that satisfaction we'll get at the end of the day I think it will be the same. Even if I'm going to civil services now and serving the society on a larger scale, that satisfaction will be the same. Whether I'm working for the 10 patients or 10,000 people, I think that satisfaction, that happiness will be the same for that feeling of serving for others.
So speaking pragmatically, since you are also going to become officers in the coming years, every person want to work in the fields which are very much required for individuals, whether it may be food, health, shelter, or basic necessities. But as an officer, think of going to the situation and understand what is the priority of the individuals. Go to the field, understand their problems. If the education is a problem in a particular area, the cause may not be same for every reason. In the Naxal area, it is maybe due to the Naxalite activities, the infrastructure might not have developed. In the hilly areas, the infrastructure building itself becomes a problem. And in the rural areas, it may be the cultural hindrances. So go to the area, be with the people, understand people's problems, take the priorities, and try to solve them at one step, taking one step at the time. So the end focus must be on bringing justice to the society, social justice, economical justice, and political justice. And we have that in our constitution. You just have to implement that. Civil servants are the implementing agency of the governmental policies and the welfare policies. And I'd like to be that.
And one more similar thing which I found while working in an NGO and to work in civil services is in with the goals of my NGO at least. So we used to take community as the center in every decision making. I think that is the goal of any governance, public governance also. So community is the core for anything, even be it any service to that matter. So it should be at the core.
Good enough. And thank you both Bharat and Madhavi for spending almost close to 2 hours with the students. All that. I think most of your questions have been answered. If you still have questions, you can meet them outside for a few minutes. So wish you all the best. And thank you once again. And congratulations to both of you once again.